I have some breaking news for you guys, and this news changes everything for crypto. We covered it on the Moon Show about 4 hours back, but now it's official. President Trump has officially signed the executive order allowing 401ks to invest into cryptocurrencies and other alternative assets. This is huge beyond what people think, and in this video, I'm going to explain why this news is causing Bitcoin to go back over $117,000, why altcoins are seeing a bit of an increase to the upside, not as much as Bitcoin, but still it's pretty decent. So we will cover that. We will cover what 401ks from the start are, because I know that not all of my audience are Americans, and I want to talk to you about why this is such a big deal overall. So guys, if that sounds interesting, and if you literally appreciate this breaking news updates, make sure to destroy the like button. It's very late where I am, and I'm trying to not wake the people sleeping at the house. So I'm doing my best, and hopefully nobody is awake because of me recording video. But guys, if you destroy the like button, then I think I can build my case tomorrow morning and say, hey, you know what? All these people liked the video, so it was worth it. But with that said, if you've done that, let's get straight into the content. First of all of our positions on weeks are doing phenomenally well now. That's great. This pump really did help a lot of our positions, specifically the altcoins, which didn't go down so much, but still they weren't doing the best. Our Bitcoin and Ethereum positions, they are doing still amazingly well, as always. We were able to open them at the exact dips with Ethereum, and also for Bitcoin, we've been scaling in since $77,000. That is always great stuff. But what is next? What does the 401ks do? What does this mean for crypto? So a 401k, for all my non-American audience, it's basically a place where, and if you are American, if you do have a 401k, please explain it more in detail in the comment section down below. But it's, from my understanding, it's a place where American employees, or even if you're self-employed, you can basically get a part of your income sent to this 401k in a non-taxable way. So you're not going to get taxed on the amount that you put into this 401. And you can choose from bonds and very traditional investment vehicles prior to this executive order, of course, to invest your money. And in your retirement, you can collect this money. Hopefully they would have risen in value through those investments. And after you collect the money when you're retired, then there is a taxation that happens. But hopefully, thanks to your investment gains, you would have made some good money, so on and so forth. It is something that I believe 70 million Americans have. Almost all working Americans have a 401k account. And in terms of how much money is in 401ks, it's expected to be around $9 trillion, and 75% of this $9 trillion is in equities, which is the risk on markets. So President Trump today signing this executive order allowing crypto, gold, real estate, and other alternative assets to be now included for the first time ever in these 401ks are huge, because it is $9 trillion of completely untapped capital that will flow into these new assets which are introduced. So I did a quick search on Grok, and I said, how much percent do you actually expect to flow from this 9 trillion into crypto? And Grok said, look, if you think about it conservatively, it's probably going to be between 1 to 5%. Guys, notice, let's quickly calculate what 1% of 9 trillion is. Off the top of my head, it should be 90 billion. So let's do, 90. It is 90 billion. $90 billion is already a massive amount of money. But let's say it's 5%. Conservatively, let's say it's 5%. That is $450 billion. $450 billion is half the market cap of all the cryptocurrencies in the world, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So it's a very large amount of capital. It's a very large amount of money. And some analysts even say it could be up to 20%, which I don't think will be the case. But I think 5% still is a huge new amount of capital that can be put into Bitcoin. There's only one caveat, and it's that this will not happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. And it's very tough for this to be happening to currently existing 401ks. Most likely the new 401ks will get this adaptation more quickly, but let's see what happens. It's all up in the air. I say 5% is pretty likely for a crypto allocation, and because this is a 401k retirement account, people are looking to put money into this for the next 20 years. I think the only real cryptocurrency that will see the most benefits will be Bitcoin itself. So overall, amazing news for Bitcoin. I'm very excited. It's increasing the maturity of Bitcoin, and you love to see it. But that was not the only executive order that President Trump signed. He's also going to sign a bill that is going to disable banks from discriminating against firms, against banks, sorry, that don't want to deal with firms that deal with crypto and individuals that deal with crypto. That's also amazing. So we're legitimizing Bitcoin and crypto. We're allowing the floodgates to open during altcoin season, and this is really, really bullish. Talking about altcoins, I will cover Bitcoin, I promised you. Ethereum is holding up very strong. We're almost back to 3.9. And the only thing that I want to say about Ethereum, because we will make a video tomorrow too, just very quickly, I think the most critical thing for Ethereum to do is to break $4,000 with a daily confirmation. As soon as we do that, or at least 2 or 3 daily confirmations, I think we're going to rocket to 5.7 to $8,000. So Ethereum, please don't fade it. I'm in love with it at the moment. I was hating it not so long back, but I think the USDC, the USDT, the stablecoin narrative, the RWA narrative, it's really amazing for Ethereum. And Ethereum hasn't even hit a new all-time high, whereas Bitcoin has smashed its all-time high back in March of 2024. So Ethereum I really like, and I also really like how Dogecoin is looking. You can see that Dogecoin broke out of this downward sloping trend line back in October, saw a retest to it. Also, we got the retest here on this linear ascending trend line. And following the retest there, we skyrocketed by, I believe it was like 100%, even more, 350%. And now we're seeing a very similar setup. Look, retest to the linear trend line, we break out, we retest to this downward sloping trend line, and now I think we can go even to $1 with this potential run. So if there is an altcoin that you want to be longing or looking into, Dogecoin, I would heavily suggest looking into that. I really love how the setup looks like right now on Dogecoin. The final and the most important thing that we want to cover is obviously Bitcoin. So let's have a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin saw the retracement to its inverse head and shoulder resistance. We're seeing the bounce, just like what happened here on the monthly time frame. Is this the candle that will initiate the massive reversal back to the upside? I think there's a good chance. 110 still possible, not 100% required. We are hitting resistance on the lower time frames, that is for sure. But overall, I think with the M2 money supply trending up, if you can build some decent long positions for the next 2-3 months, I think it will be a nice thing to have done, because overall, I think that the Bitcoin trend is looking up. Even though in the short term, you see a small correction, I don't really think it matters. I think in the long term, the next 2 to 3 months, when I say long term, by the way, will be great for Bitcoin. The daily EMA ribbons are holding very strong. It's a good sign. The Bollinger Bands, John Bollinger himself, the person that built the Bollinger Band theory, said that I know that we broke below the lower Bollinger Band, the lower band on the Bollinger Bands on the daily time frame with the spot price of Bitcoin. But if you look into the ETF, we're still holding it. And he thinks that that's tremendously bullish. So yeah, it's just something interesting that I wanted to share with you. And I also thought it was very interesting because, yeah, he has a very good point. So overall, very good news for Bitcoin in the long term. Short term, no need to be euphoric, because this is not something, the capital transfer is not going to happen overnight, but it's very good for the long term. And we will speak a lot more in detail about the certain price levels for Bitcoin, so on and so forth, but that's for tomorrow. I just wanted to break the news to you and give you a bit of additional analysis to fill in the video. But stay tuned for tomorrow's video for the full in-depth Bitcoin TA. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your night, and I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Take care, and as always, bye-bye.